7 stabs off the knife, 7 stabs off the sword. Hand me that basin. I'm about to vomit blood. The blood runs down.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video we're going to talk about the Black Madonna and its links to voodoo. We're going to break down how this powerful voodoo spirit helped create the first African colonial state of Haiti. We got a lot to cover, so I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share and click the bell notification. And please consider supporting us on our new Patreon. Link in the description. So first of all, I'm going to explain how we got here. Okay, so I made a few videos about ES. I actually did some research into some of the organizations that she was associated with. One of the organizations from the past was the Temple of the Black Madonna, or the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Call it as you wish. Now, if you watched the last video, you would have heard me talk about my research that I've done into this Christian organization. The rabbit hole goes so deep. There is so much going on inside that organization. I had to actually ask myself, why is this happening? Why is this specific organization doing what it is doing? It's making itself out to be a good Christian organization that fights evil, yet it's apparently doing a lot of evil things. It's doing the very opposite. Many Protestant churches, especially in Eastern Europe and in Russia, will have a Black Madonna. I think it's important that we start off by identifying the fact that the Black Madonna that we are going to speak about today is different than the other white Madonnas that you may see in many Protestant churches around the world. So we call her a deity, but we worship her. I say we, I'm talking about humans. Worship her like she's a god in her own right. So why do we do that? The Black Madonna is a representation. It's a representation of Mother Nature in a way. A powerful feminine deity which is the source of life on this planet. Many people who are religious experts will dispute this, okay? I'm not a religious expert, but one thing I do know is that we don't dispute the fact that Jesus was a real person, right? Jesus apparently was a real person and we worship him. I say we, I mean humans, worship him like he is a god, okay? Part of the Holy Trinity or whatever. So when we look at Madonna, the Black Madonna, who apparently was also a real person, a lot of religious experts and Catholic priests and everything, they say, well, of course, no, she wasn't. She wasn't a god. She isn't supposed to be worshipped. Nowhere does it say in the Bible that we should be worshipping anything else other than the Son, God, and the Holy Spirit. These rules are quite strict, as I can concur myself as a person that has studied the Bible for many, many years. I was a Jehovah's Witness in a former life. So I was brought up in that religion and didn't leave until I was in my early 20s. The reason I left was because I couldn't dedicate myself to God. I took the religion serious. I'm not one of those people that will go out to party on a Saturday and then on a Sunday crawl into church half asleep. I want to talk more specifically about the Black Madonna. As a deity, people worship her. You can go to any Protestant church here in Eastern Europe and you will see a Black Madonna. As Jehovah's Witnesses, we were always taught that, of course, we have God, big white guy with a beard in heaven, always watching us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We had, of course, Satan, and Satan was always there. Satan was here on earth in demon form, roaming around the earth, looking to devour us in one way or another. However, we were taught that Satan was not here alone. We were taught that Satan was here on this planet with his friends, the demons. These demons have the power to morph into different entities, different beings. They have the power to do things like perform miracles, magic. And this is the angle in which a lot of Christian organizations come at our African spiritual teachings. We were always taught in the congregation, we were always taught that things like stigmatas was not the work of God, but it was the work of Satan. And we were always taught that everything which we could associate with the woman, okay, right from the very get-go, right from the beginning of the Bible, where we see Eve messing around with that tree, we see that Eve gets deceived first. It's Eve that manipulates Adam into eating that apple too. So right from the very get-go, the Bible sets about to lay blame on everything which is unholy and everything that is wrong in this world today on femininity. The Black Madonna represents everything that is positive and beautiful and powerful about femininity. It represents the strength of a woman. It represents the warrior heart of a woman. It represents the gifts that a woman can perform that no other gender can perform, I should say. So it represents the ability for her to multiply and everything else that's good, and represents nothing that is evil. The Black Madonna comes in many different forms. If you look throughout history, you will see many deities that were worshipped throughout history, okay? And they were worshipped, and rightfully so, I must say. They were worshipped because of their feminine attributes. They came in many different forms. They manifested themselves in many different forms throughout the vast majority of religions on this planet. So where is the link between the Black Madonna and voodoo? Well, we need to go back to around 1800, around the time of the Haitian Revolution, where they fought against the French and destroyed them, crushed them over there in the Caribbean, and fought for their own freedom. Before the revolution actually happened, many of the West African slaves that were living in Haiti were forced to convert to Catholicism, and they were forced to abandon their own deities. Many of these slaves, of course, did not give up their West African heritage. We know this today because it's pretty prevalent in Haiti, right? So the reason it's still prevalent in Haiti is because no one gave up worshipping their voodoo idols. The Catholics' deity, the Black Madonna, was the most favorite deity for converting Catholics in Haiti to worship, because they simply saw her, they saw this Black Madonna in the form of their own deity, a powerful female voodoo spirit by the name of Ezeli Dantor, the goddess of passion, sex and war. She's so powerful that worshippers don't have to make huge sacrifices in order to evoke her powers. So it's fair to say that many seers, many witch doctors use this powerful entity a lot. There are two sides of her spirit. You can evoke her evil side or her good side. I'm guessing you would evoke her evil side if you wanted something evil to be done. The spirit of Ezeli Dantor was conjured up in a voodoo ritual in Haiti in 1791. They sacrificed a black pig because that is the sacrifice that you need to make in order to evoke the spirit of Ezeli Dantor. A lot of those Haitian voodoo priests were looking for answers. They were looking to evoke the power in order to overthrow this powerful French force that had subdued them for over 100 years. So of course they looked at who was being forced upon them. Who was being forced upon the Haitians at the time? Of course, the Catholics were being forced upon them, the Catholic Church, the Catholic religion. So the voodoo priests used the blood of the pig that they sacrificed in order to write a contract, right? A contract with the devil. A contract with the devil in order to get protection from the Catholic gods, which had subdued them for over 100 years. This contract would last 200 years. When the spirit of Ezeli Dantor was conjured up, it possessed the voodoo high priestess Marionette. When she was possessed, she made the first order: kill every Frenchman that you find. This was the beginning of the Haitian Revolution. On January 1st, 1804, the nation of Haiti was born. Wow. Voodoo, nation building at its finest. The voodoo high priestess Marionette then had her tongue cut out by her own people. They did this in order to protect the voodoo secrets from the French if she ever got caught. After that, her own people killed her by burning her alive. We have a powerful voodoo spirit in Ezeli Dantor who brought upon the power of the spirits of voodoo, and she weaponized the people there. She weaponized them to the point in which the French, one of the most powerful armies on earth, could not deal with the people there. And this all came about through these West Africans having the smarts to actually focus on their own voodoo spirits and seeing those voodoo spirits through the eyes of this oppressive force that was being put upon them in the form of the Black Madonna. It's a beautiful story. It's a brilliant story which I will tell my kids, especially my daughters, because it's important that they know that this is part of their history too, being that they are descendants of slaves themselves. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with them. And this just goes to prove that we should really hang on to our history. We have our own history, okay? We do have our own history. And I know there's going to be a few of you who are going to say, oh, well, Christianity came from Africa. I heard that one. And Islam came from Africa. I've heard that one as well. Okay, fair enough. You can, it's a free world. You can believe whatever you want. But this is us. I was brought up in central England in the 1970s and 80s. Okay, I'm sick of hearing. I'm sick to death of it. You know, every day we used to pray when we used to go to school. And it weren't even a Catholic. I didn't even go to a Catholic school. We used to pray every single day. And we used to sing these Christian songs at the beginning of every school day. Goodness gracious me. I'm just happy that, you know, I wasn't totally brainwashed. Just goes to show, whenever you go into a Protestant or Catholic church in the Caribbean, in Haiti, in Brazil, in Cuba, just know, okay, that not all of them, not all of those statues of Mary and of the Black Madonna are representative of Catholicism. It isn't. When the people go to pray and they kneel down before these statues, Christianity, in some of them, is the last thing on their mind. So guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I know there are going to be plenty of people in my comment section who are going to correct me, and I am looking forward to that okay? Because I am no expert. I'm supposed to be doing this video on this list that was left by Chief Amachi, okay? And it's just taking me down these avenues and corners and different roads, and I found this story and I was like, oh my goodness, this is a beautiful story and something which is close to my heart, because I'm from the Caribbean myself, okay? I'm from Jamaica, yeah, but you know, stone throw from Haiti, and still my people. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments, hearing any more questions that you may have. It'd be really good to hear from you and hear what you have to say and think about this. So yeah, leave a comment in the comment section. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'd like to give an extra special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Once again, please consider supporting us on Patreon. The link is in the description. Thank you very much. And I will see you in the next one. Until the next time, please think twice. Ta-ra a bit.